In the previous video, we looked at how to set up the initial configuration of our vRealize Operations Manager cluster. In this video, we're going to have a look at connecting the vCenter endpoint, which is the inbuilt vCenter solution, which comes as part of vRealize Operations Manager. Now, when we first log in, after the initial configuration, we will get prompted directly with the Solutions page. Here is where we want to set up our vCenter adapter or endpoint. We can see here that it is not configured, so we hit the old cog button up here. We'll give it a name, give it something meaningful, and if you're having more than one vCenter that you're connecting to, obviously make sure you know which ones they are. In this case, I'll just do vCenter 01, give a description. Now first we do the basic settings. So we want to give our vCenter server, so this is an IP address or a fully qualified domain name. So I'll do, we want a credential, so we won't have any credentials here, so we'll go new, credential name, give the login, and password. Okay, now we can enable actions, so this means that vRealize Operations Manager can initiate actions to vMotion machines, or to turn them off, or to add CPU, depending on the type of actions that we allow it to do. And we'll click enable here. Now we can add alternate credentials for the actions, which is perfectly fine. In this case, it's not. I'm just going to use the same as the admin here, and if we don't put anything in there, that's what it uses. Want to test the connection, we get our cert from vCenter, and then do a test. Great, test was successful. Now in here we can do some advanced settings. Now initially I would say don't touch these. Everything in here default is perfectly fine. We can do a registration. So initially when you first connect, or do a register, now you can have multiple vRealize Operations Manager solutions connecting to the same vCenter. Now, but only one can be registered, meaning when we go to the web client, the badges will only show up from whichever one is registered to vCenter, but all of them can connect and grab the metrics. So in here we hit Save Settings. Because, as I was saying before, this has already got registered and there's going to be a conflict, you can override the existing registration if this is your new instance and your main one, or you click no. In this case I'm going to go no. I just want the metrics out of it, and we close it. Now we can see that's now gone to collecting. This will soon say collection status of data receiving, which it is. Now, if we go to our environment, I should now be able to see my vCenter and all the machines. None of them will have badges or health or metrics yet. We'll have to wait for a few cycles till they're collecting, but it's now collecting. And that's it for the initial setup and configuration of vRealize Operations Manager. This was the last video of the section. In this video, we looked at setting up the vCenter endpoint or vCenter solution to start the data collection for us to be able to work from. In this section, we had a look at deploying the VROPS appliance through the web client. We did the initial cluster configurations, and we set up our vCenter connection to start the data coming in. The next section is the UI and access control.